I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider expectations. I tend to expect a lot of myself, and in doing so, I have allowed other people to expect things of me as well. And that seems to be the nature of our world, right? It is something that definitely gets some people peeved. The fact that another person can expect things of you, right? Some people have expectations. Oh, goodness, it smells good. Mm. Some people have expectations kind of thrown at them from children. Some people have expectations thrown at them from spouses. Some people have expectations thrown at them from employers. And some people expect a lot of themselves, right? Today's stream topic is going to be about realizing that yes, there will be expectations of you. Sure, that might be a thing in your life that you might like or dislike, but recognize that as you have lived, there has been expectations. And as you have continued, you have met those expectations, right? So it's a double whammy of if you lived in a way where you never met any expectation that anybody had of you, you would get to continue living without anybody expecting anything of you. And the opposite is true. If you live in a way where you meet your expectations, you will be given more expectations. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? I'm thinking about the whole fractal of like if someone asks you to do something, do it horribly, so they never ask you again, right? The opposite of it is also yikes, right? Like if someone had to tell me they do things the worst of their ability whenever they are asked, so that they don't have to do it again, I'd be like, but if somebody says to me, if I had to say to myself, I'm gonna do this job so good that they will expect no one else to do it, right? Now suddenly, there's all of this work that awaits you. I feel if you were in an environment where you are appreciated for your work, it can again become an asset to be so appreciated that they don't want to use anyone else. They don't want to expect that work to be done by anyone else, but it's gonna be a matter of whether or not you want that. I have some hella jelly here, and it smells incredible. It smells so good, like literally like candy. If I didn't know better, I would unironically try eating this stuff. I would try eating it, but it wouldn't taste sweet, so it would be short-lived, I'm sure. Sam is sharing with us saying, we have social expectations, and I think those are healthy. The people we live with expect shit from us, and that's fair. Employers expect things, they need to be prepared to pay for those things. Agreed. That is agreed. Do it horribly so they never ask you to do it again. God, that's an episode of the '70s show where the dad said he picked a couch with dragons on it to get out of decorating the house of his wife. He picked a couch with dragons on it to get out of decorating. Yeah, exactly like that. Right? Exactly like that. And in that way, he knew himself. Right? He knew himself. He knew that he didn't want to be actively involved in the process of having to decorate his home. Right? So there is a matter of wisdom there as well of realizing that if you commit, you will be expected to commit to do this thing. But if you don't, you will be expected not to. And that might be exactly what you want. Oh, Sam, if only it was so easy. If only it was if only it was so easy. I have had this moment today, weirdly enough, on my way to go and do some work today. I did some live streaming for the brand. The slapping competition is happening tomorrow. And during this whole process, on my way there, I think to myself again, I'm going to now be meeting a bunch of athletes. I'm going to be meeting my employer. I'm going to be meeting my friend Tinas, who's the owner of the venue, meeting his wife, meeting, the people that are staffing the environment that I also love. There are so many eyes on me that technically, and again, this is not me using the word expectation like a burden, but there are so many people there that expect different things of me, right? Every single set of eyes expect something else, right? Even if it's down to the expectation of what you're gonna be like or not, right? What is this person walking up to me? When you see me walking up, or when you walk up to someone, what are they expecting? And are they expecting something good? I'm trying to live in a way where I can believe that that person is gonna expect something good. But again, then that becomes the expectation. Right, right, right. Hey, I expect you to be my bestie forever. Well, Goo, you get to sit here next to me and smoke a Dynavap whenever you want to, bro. That's some bestie-ness, if I've ever heard some. This, since you were usually interested, is some hella jelly that I have in here right now, Goo. It's tasty. Like candy to the max. I think you'd love it. Thank you for being here, bestie. It's called Weaponize It. It's called Weaponized Incompetence. And now that we have a helpful internet buzzword for it, it's easier to pinpoint when it happens. Yeah. When I use the buzzword weaponized and then something, I do not use the word weaponized incompetence. I use the word weaponized autism. Right? There are certain traits that are more likely to manifest themselves in autistic individuals. And those autistic individuals can either be in their own world, or they can be given a world, right? And when you give an autistic person a world, they will work it like a weapon. When is your winter? My winter is over. Technic and McCrease. My winter is supposed to be over. It is a little bit cooler today, and it's gonna be cooler tomorrow because there was snow on Table Mountain, like a few thousand kilometers away from here. So it's cooler, but I'm still sweating. You didn't need to know that? Now you do. Now you do. It's still hot enough for me to not be cold. I'm gonna add some heat to this. What's my intention? Expecting good. That's my intention. I'm expecting some good. Let's see what it tastes like. I know what it tastes like. I've had this strain 4 different times from the joint. There's a reason I keep getting it. That's tasty. So strong is the thing that I'm instantly noticing as well. Like fruit flavors and volume. It's a sativa as well, so it should be a little bit more. Eyes open. Eyes open. I'm like still recanting all of the stuff that went down today. I wake up at 8 a.m. I turn on the water heater so I can not shower cold. I could have, but I didn't want to particularly this morning. I get ready, I leave. I get there, I'm one of the first people. Not really. That's a blatant lie. I'm one of the first people that's supposed to be there, that is there, right? So I help. I get everything set up. We get some like prerequisites done for tomorrow. Some expectations that need to be met. We get that stuff done. We get the banner set up. We do some rudimentary shots to see how it's gonna look, and then we did a bunch of filming. It was like a 39-minute live stream, so it's not that much footage for me to work through, but it is probably gonna be a little bit sporadic, and I should There is technically no expectation for me to do all of that work now. None whatsoever. But at the same time, I kind of want to. There was this conversation with one of the athletes where I basically greet the people before I'm leaving, and he goes, "Why are you leaving?" I'm like, "I have some work to do, dude." He's like, "What work?" And I tell him, "Oh, I saw some live stream, and then I'm gonna edit the footage." And he goes, "You can edit it today." And I'm like, "Yo, Moos, who else is gonna do it? Needs to get done." And then with that same person, there is a conversation had where he wants me to bring all of his interviews as media files on my cell phone so I can send it to him so he can post it to his Instagram and WhatsApp, status if he wants to. And again, right? Again, my mind, the version of me that I am, wants to help. I want to be nice. I want to be kind. I want to be like, yeah, of course I can help you. Yeah, of course. But it is more expectations. More expectations. Balancing expectations with reality during your event may be difficult for you considering the kind of expectations you have for yourself, Mel. Yeah. Yeah, you're making really good points there. I'm trusting that it will grow. That's kind of where I'm coming from as well. Like I'm not expecting anything, to say it in so many words, right? Even though I feel like I should. I expect to get paid, and I am, at least, for the work I'm doing. I don't think I am being paid as much as I would expect, to say it in so many words. But I also don't expect from this thing alone. Too vague? Too vague? Like, I'm very careful with my words. I try to say things that are true. And in that, the true statement would be, I will continue meeting my expectations, regardless of what happens. Talking about that, today's stream, my phone is going to be one of the media cameras that's going to be taking video. So my stream might only end up being a little bit later, which I hope is okay. I hope that's okay. I know it's a little bit of a break of expectation, but I hope your friends will forgive me. Joe, holy shit, you are here. We have missed you. Got a signal and decided to say good morning. Here I are. Bless you, bro. It's nice having you. Accept the possibility of failure of somebody's expectation before you go in there and maybe be pleasantly surprised in the end. Interestingly enough, I do not accept the possibility of failure. Because again, in my mind, there is nothing that should fail. I have faith in you, brother. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a duality. It's a duality of optics, I think, if anything, right? Expectations very much is attached to optics. A lot of what people expect is optic based as well. Right, in today's stream topic, did I act it? Expecting results? Yeah, I did add that to the stream topic title. Expecting results. Right, people don't really care how you get. Oh my goodness, it's insane. Jeez, bro. One of the athletes that is competing tomorrow is also a Simon, and I was thinking about you, and here you are. It's insane. Blessings, bro. Tell me, dude. Tell me. You're more in the tech industry. How much of the tech industry is optics? I feel like with a computer and code, I don't know if you're still doing scripting. I don't know what you're doing right now. Let us know what you're doing, right? But how much of it is optics? How much of what all of you friends do is optics? And maybe you're like, what the hell does that mean, Mel? How it looks. How it looks. right? It's not about how you do it, it's not about how long it takes you, it's not about how much effort it is. All they care about is how it looks. Expect nothing, and all is a gift. Mm. It's true. It is true. But in that way, sometimes people pay to have something done, and having that mentality might not be necessarily the most helpful. Value exchange. I had this whole thing today about thinking about assets, thinking about cell phones and cars, weirdly enough, and how when a cell phone or a car is sold on contract or on loan, that money never really exists. You know, no money is created for you to buy said car, right? There's just this placeholder, technically, put on a system. And that is something that is expected of you as the now owner of said asset to pay back. And it would be very nice. It would be so nice if I could just drive a car off the lot and they would expect nothing, you know, and if they get anything, it's a gift. I would love that. I would so love I would love it so much. Love and to all of you beautiful people. Love and to you, Kristen. Mojo is here with us as well. Joe, where are you? Pics in Discord, look cool. Going on adventures. Do let us know. Love and to you all again, says Kristen. I'm seeing Craig Conant? Craig Conant tonight. Thank you for whoever suggested him. His stand-up comedy is awesome. Bless. I remember that day we had some chats about the stand-up comedians. LA is here with us too. Bless you, friend. Sensei says, even when you pay for something to get done, best to expect is the worst, then everything is better. Yeah, that is true. Especially with how much you're willing to pay. Right? I wonder. I heard this whole take that goes, people who have the lowest budgets have the highest expectations. And I wonder if it's because that low budget usually comes from a place of just getting started. And because they're just getting started, they have ambitions for it to look as good as it possibly can. But it's still getting started. So there's not a lot of money to make it look as good as it possibly can. So the attempt is basically made as communicating set expectations over and over and over again. I'm trying to think of it from a perspective of, now again, the person with the high budget, they have high budget because they already have a lot of money. They probably have done that, whatever it is they're doing, many times before. And in that, they have a certain perspective about how things turn out with what you put in. And in that, they have less expectations of you. I have a tab open in the back of my head that's expecting me to go and sit in front of my computer right now. I'll do it. You can stop. You can stop. Please, Mr. Close the tab. Sensei. Syntactic. What do you think about expecting the worst but hoping for the best? Or does that defeat the purpose? Expecting the worst but hoping for the best. Can't remember the last time I actually expected the worst. When was the last time? In China. In China, I expected the worst many times. That was the last time I properly spent some time expecting bad things. I'm very happy that that has passed. I try to not expect bad things these days, at the very least. Very much from the whole manifestation perspective. You know, if I expect bad things, I shouldn't be surprised if I receive them. You know, that's the way I see it, at least. Sliding through the hills and meeting beautiful people for the most part. That does sound fun. That does defeat the purpose because you're putting your hopes up for something that doesn't exist yet. Can you delay your excitement? Can you just delay your excitement for when it's here? Delaying excitement feels like an oxymoron a little bit though. Excitement is something spontaneous, isn't it? And in that way, I don't think you can delay it. You're either excited or you aren't. Caves and cliffs and cemeteries and old battlefields and rivers and springs and nature preserves. It's pretty amazing. No you, bro. Happy that eyes as beautiful as yours is getting to see that world. I have another Dynabab stacked. Still hella jelly. I expected good. I feel I got good. I got some good. Now I expect calm. Closing my eyes, I see very interesting speaker arrays. They look custom made with swoopy shapes. Click. Hi y'all, I'm expecting the weekend. It is Friday. You expecting anything in particular this weekend? Going somewhere? Doing something? You let us know. I love my swamp, but I was here long enough to almost forget how many wonderful places exist. Traveling. You could spend your entire life, every single day of the traveling, and you would not see the entire world. Isn't that absurd? So in that way, I don't expect myself to see the whole world. But I do expect myself to see the beauty of the worlds I find myself in. Right? That's a worthy expectation, I think. It's pretty amazing. I love my swamp. So much magic in this world. This is true. Flying to a massive skate event in Barcelona week after next. I am not excited. No point. Plus, anything could happen now and between then, but I know I'll enjoy it while I'm there. I am not excited. Maybe our definition of excited might be different. To the friends who don't know, Sensane has this emotion wheel that he consults. Maybe it's not a wheel anymore, it's actually a spreadsheet, now that I think about it. Thank you for beaming that information back in my brain, Simon. And then he'll scroll down and he'll find the word, or he'll find the piece of text, the little description that matches his feeling the most. And then he'll be like, I'm not excited. I'm actually enter different word here. All right. Excited to me is a feeling of looking forward to. Right? If I had to say I'm excited to see you tomorrow, it would mean that instead of just not thinking about it, right? Instead of it just being another thing, right? Like I'm not excited for the food I'm going to eat tomorrow, kind of vibes, right? Because it's kind of like, food, you know. Maybe I'd be excited if I knew I was going to eat this, you know, fancy blue cheese and jam pizza. I'm sorry that I had to go there, but again, I haven't had that, so I might be excited for the novelty of this experience that I haven't had before. I don't know if you've had skate park in Barcelona before, but in that way, it's not exactly a part of your day-to-day, skate park in Barcelona, you know. So in that way, if there's any part of you that's like, this experience that is awaiting me, and even if you just, I honestly believe, even if you're just thinking about it, if you think about it more than twice over the next 2 weeks, you were excited. Boom. Boom. Get excited. That is exact excitement which I suppress, Mel. That is the exact excitement which I suppress. Those are some loaded words, dude. Why are you suppressing excitement? Is it like is it an optics thing? Is it an Oh, me excited? Oh, skate park in Barcelona. Or blue cheese and jam pizza. What is this crime being committed? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I promise you, somebody has done that. I promise you. I'm not the first time. I'm not the first person to think of, such cursed things. There's a lot for me to enjoy today. Unnecessary for me personally to be all excited for things in the future. I think I agree with that sentiment, right? If your excitement of the future is taking away from your presence in the now, then you're putting the horse in front of the you're putting the trolley in front of the horse. What is that saying? Right, I get what you're saying in that way at least. Size, that's skateboarding, speed skating, figure skating, EUCing. Can you EUC at the skate park? Isn't there a song or poem that says to see the world in a grain of sand? I do like that. Love is true, magic is real, and the juju flows plentiful. Love is true. Kristen says, my hubby asks me a lot if I'm excited when we have upcoming travel and events. I find I'm not excited until I'm actually doing it. Up until the point I'm actually focused on other stuff or getting ready, which is not exciting. Okay, I hear you. And in a way, I can kind of relate, right? Maybe this is again my willingness to almost reframe the way that I see things in my own experience, because I have noticed I tend to be anxious, right, before the event. When I'm in that state of packing, it's not only not exciting, but it's actually anxiety inducing a little bit, where I'm like, am I forgetting something? I don't want to forget anything, so I should make sure. So I should make sure again, and then make sure one more time. So I try and reframe that state of being as a form of excitement. Of I wouldn't be this way if there was no excitement for this thing that is coming. Something that I have noticed, uh, I can get very caught up in is almost not being present enough for the experience, right? Especially if there's a lot of stimuli in my environment. It's almost like I contract deeper and deeper into myself. Not so with my words, not so with my presence, but so with my experience. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll still be just as open to conversation. I'll still be just as capable of following through, of meeting the expectations that would be ahead of me in a conversation. But it's almost like I'm kind of not there. Kind of. Still there, but less so than usually. Right? And in doing so, I end up not being as there for the experience as I might have wanted to be. Too vague. Just vague enough. I hope so. Where's that? Yes, I'm stirring the plot or the pot. It's good. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, but ranch dressing does. I have had pineapple on pizza, and I am a liker. I am a stan. I am a supporter of pineapple on pizza. I'm sorry. Loses every single friend in Sprays like a Kimmel. That's where we draw the line. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. For me, it's a matter of, again, novelty, right? It's not all pineapple on all of the pizza. It's pizza and then some pineapple, and it's like novelty. It's like, oh wow, now this sweet and sour. That's the way it should be. I'm stirring the pot. Stir the pot. Stir. From my experience, a lot can go wrong. People and things can be unreliable. I dislike not being able to fully enjoy something because the present moment wasn't as good of what I expected or hoped for. Hmm. expected and hoped for. You think those words are interchangeable? So I feel hope, at least in my experience, is attached to a very personal, like creative bone in me, right? If I had to hope for something to be one way or another, I hope from a perspective of a creative. When I expect from a perspective of a payer, all right? I only start expecting if I have paid for a service or for a product, right? Like the way I would expect my product to arrive if I've ordered online. I wouldn't hope for it, in that way. What I could hope for in that way is that this tool would help me creatively. And in that way, my expectations might be dashed. So, I'm there with you, bro. And I especially pick up on the wisdom you're putting down of like ruining your own current moment because of past expectations or hopes for what it was supposed to be like. I just had the most aggressive, off the wall altercation with an angry boomer outside the pet store. Taking a breath with you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. I've never had to, fortunately. Rolling skating event, week long of thousands of skaters in one place by the beach. That does sound like quite an experience. I have had a pizza with blue cheese on it. It was amazing. And I've had bacon jam on burgers, and that's amazing. I can envision both on a pizza, maybe with an oily instead of a tomato sauce and some provolone. Yeah, you see, you just have LA give us the proper verbiage to make it sound very, very fancy, not just blue cheese and jam. That I think because they're in such opposite worlds, right? Blue cheese is like sophisticated, and then jam is what you put on your sandwich every now and then or whatever. So I get why they don't feel like they should be in the same room. Waiting for it to open to get pet food. 65-year-old big bearded dude with a little white fluffy dog. I see the dog taking a shit in the handicap parking lot, right on the ground. Poop bags are 5 feet away, so I grab one, bring it over to him, and say, "I got you covered, friend." He looks at the pile of shit. He's the only guy there, and he says, "That ain't my dog, man." I said, "Are you serious?" I watched it come out of that dog's butt. He tells me to fuck myself. Dog doesn't. I tell him to go fuck himself. He then tries to apologize while cussing me out somehow. So I went full scorched earth and asked how he would feel if someone refused to help him wipe his old ass. The ladies at the pet store were like, "Relax, Mike." Relax, Mike. Relax, Mike. And I said, "He told me it was your girl's job to pick it up." They said, "Go get him." Yo, see, bro. And I'm guessing it's just ego, right? Like in that dude's worldview, right? He's like fucking manning it out here, right? His dog takes a shit. Maybe he didn't notice. Maybe he didn't notice, right? But you did. And then you, as a good Samaritan, you bring out the poop bag to give him the poop bag so he doesn't have to, mission back and forth, being courteous. And instead of saying thank you and just doing it, right? It's the least you can expect, to keep it to today's stream topic. He takes it as an attack, right? As like it's either thank you or fuck you. Oh, and he chose. He chose. Shame. May he have a beautiful day. May it get better, and may he learn there are better ways. Did you go bonobo on his ass and have at him, Doc? Oh my goodness, I think that would have been more funny into the story. Okay, I'm scrolling up a little bit. I was reading the bits of messages. I like the way you reframe anxiety and excitement for packing. That makes a lot of sense. I do struggle with anxiety. Yeah, we want things to be perfect, right? And again, love is true, even in that anxiety. If there was no love in your heart for yourself, for your own well-being, for this experience that you were looking forward to, there would be no anxiety either. So, if love is still true and I'm still anxious, then maybe I'm excited actually. Actually, maybe I'm just excited. Maybe that's what's happening. Well, what an arrogant asshole. Did you put the poop in the bag or leave it in his car? Not on his car. Yeah, I don't hope for Amazon to deliver my package, but I do expect them to fuck up delivering it. It's why I'm never stressed out from delays, but my wife loses her mind because she has expectations. Mm, yeah. Interesting. Interesting how we apply our expectations. I feel like it's also a matter of experience. For me, I started existing in the world when I started existing in the world on top of the fact that I started existing in Africa, somewhere in Africa, at least in one of the nice places in Africa, but still Africa. So we didn't have shipping down quite as well as you friends have had it at that point already for very long. So for me to order a package and to wait between 2 weeks and 2 months, I wasn't really too peeved about that, right? Oh, I'm waiting 2 months for this package, remind me in 2 months or whatever, and then I would literally go and check the PO box, for example, over and over again to see the little tab that my package arrived. And it would take 2 months sometimes. Sometimes I've waited for packages here in South Africa from you friends for 6 months. I think one of them 8 months or something like that. And that's again, I don't get too peeved about that because that's what I expect from South Africa. And in that way, we have Amazon in South Africa now and another website called Takealot. They're the two big online retailers. I think that's what they're called, right? And both of them now have within the week delivery, right? Sometimes next day delivery. And now that to me, like if it comes in 2 days, I'm blown away. Like holy shit, 2 days? That's crazy. So I guess again, maybe in 20 years from now, right? My kids only receive their packages in 2 days always. It would be unreasonable for me to expect that they wouldn't have such expectations. Maybe your wife, grew up with a different kind of perspective, in that. And I think you do have like a very philosophical worldview as well. You have put yourself to the paces, to say it in so many words, when it comes to your mental game, I think, Simon. Like you don't let yourself just think, you think about thinking kind of vibes, right? Sigh sounds like you're managing, not getting disappointed. True. Jovan is here with us saying Nancy and Duck and Sam and Kristen, Louisiana, Mojo, Gavi Doo, Jaja Ju, Melton Moore. And all of those lovely people here today and their tomorrows. Love you, Joe. It's nice having you. I'm a lover and a hippie, but now can you leave? But how can you leave a steaming pile of shit in a handicap lane where someone steps out of the car, feet away from poop bags? That behavior cannot be allowed to continue. Yeah, it's the whole fractal of like people saying we don't deserve dogs. I think we do deserve dogs, just not everyone deserves a dog. All right, like cleaning up after your dog when you're in a city, when you're in a public space, right? Stepping in dog shit. It's not a nice any part of a day, right? Not a nice start, not a nice middle, not a nice end to the day. Like nobody is like excited to step in dog shit. So how about you don't? How about you don't? My mind is one of those petty assholes where I would like wish for better technology. I wish for nanotech so that I can, literally spawn dog shit underneath a person's foot if they leave their dog shit. Like I'll disassemble the poop on this side and reassemble it underneath their shoes. But then again, it's gonna put streak. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How do you teach a person like that not to, right? How do you teach a person courtesy? Because again, I expect that. I do expect that. But only from the perspective of I would like to believe that I would act in that way as well. Is that the way we teach? You just be better. All of us collectively be better. And hopefully the concentration will raise. Tell me more about people who have big dog apparel in their closets. I'm guessing that's a brand. I view it as setting myself up to be overjoyed when things come on time. Yeah, the reframe. So much reframing. Bro, he so noticed. He was in the car watching. He was making eye contact with that dog. Gee. Yeah, then it's just like max disrespect. Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Places you will be from. I can spawn 2 under unexpected shoes. What is your useless superpower? Yes. Thank you, Joe. That's perfect. That's perfect. Useless superpower. I can make a person negligent of their dog shit. I can make the dog shit spawn just underneath their shoe, of course, as they enter their home. As they walk on their carpets. And then they go like, what the fuck? I left that dog shit for someone else to step in. Now I stepped in it. What? How did this happen? And I want them. I want them to like lay awake. I do. I want them to lay awake, tripping out about it. Like, what the fuck? Like, how's that possible? How's it possible for that dog shit to have? Did I step in other dog shit? Maybe karma like made me step in other dog shit. And then he does like DNA tests and stuff. And then he finds out it is in fact his dog shit. And then he's up even more nights. Tripping out of it. I'm gonna put this record down, I'm sorry. Nancy, we went out and picked it up in the end. Dudes like that aren't used to being told what to do or called out of their behavior. While I'm a younger bearded dude who's had enough. Yeah. Thank you, bro, for doing the dirty work, even though you might not have wanted to. It wasn't expected of you, but you did it anyway. So finish your whiskey. The conclusion of the story. I like the fact that he sat and thought about it like a big boy. Yeah. How do you teach a person courtesy as a youngin with a blue book written by Emily Post? As adults with social shaming. It is the way it is. Yeah. But again, that's like a slippery slope. In China, they will literally public shame you in the streets on billboards. In the apartment building I was living in, there was like a recycling box. This was in Shanghai. There's a box where you go and deposit your recycling. And you are not allowed. Like there is literally no trash cans outside of the buildings. So you are not allowed to have a big bag full of trash and just drop said big bag of trash in a trash can or whatever. The only way for you to do it is to take your big bag of trash to one of those machines and then you put the bottles in that machine. And I found out, fortunately not the hard way for myself, fortunately, but by literal TV screens of people's faces, shaming them as you enter our like apartment building, being like, these fucking people don't recycle. Fuck these people. Dude. It was in like a week, their faces was up there. So yeah, maybe public shaming could work, but shame. How are you feeling, bro? You want to say something?
Just wanna, can I have some of your knickknacks on a break?
Yeah. I'm this for a pot of knickknacks myself. Knickknacks is a type of extruded corn crisp. Yes. Some are living in the cyberpunk practical already.
Nice.
It is flavors. Crispy flavors is what it is, basically. I can spawn. Not again. It takes a young, scary dude with a beard to outscare an old, scary guy with a beard. True. Closing time. We're singing with John in the background. Okay, yeah. I was wondering if any of that was going to come through. I guess it does. When I was younger, a mate and I would always show gratitude for our past selves and set up our future selves. Like you go out, forget something, but find it in your bag, you high five your past self. Uh, when I was younger, I used to roll joints. I used to smoke weed and stuff. Like actually smoke it. I don't smoke it anymore. And I would roll joints with little messages on the Garrix from myself. And then I would have said joints, and then I would smoke said joint, and then I would read the message from my past self to my then future self, to that version of me who is then experiencing it in the present. And I completely agree that there is a lot to be gained in that gratitude of your own past actions, because it again reaffirms and not establish, kind of like incentivize. It ensures? Is that the word? It ensures you'll do that again in the future, right? It's like, I liked that I, as a past self, did this thing for me now. I should do that again. And then you form good habits and you start taking care of your person. Sam agreed. I've stared down people at the dog park when it looked like they were going to leave their dog shit. Just like, what are you doing? What's happening there? Huh? Did you hear anyone else, right? Oh, but again, that's a slippery slope. Well, don't be a fucking slob. Yeah, true. True. It's just a matter of how it's done, I guess. It's the slippery slope is the again implementation. And there will be expectations. Oh yeah. There'll definitely be expectations. Some agree. Sometimes you're too lazy to do something, but put it in the right place for your future self. Then, when you need it in that moment, you remember to thank your past self. I feel that mindset just melted in. Good. Love is true. Is there only one closing time song? I don't know any closing time song. I didn't hear what he was singing, but I'm happy that you friends at least share that fractal. Sorry, I'm amped up. One of my most prominent autism traits is a sense of justice. But I'm going to be picking up a bunch of new weed strains, and that will make me happy. Chocolate, Malawi. Interestingly enough, the closest tower. Let's see if I can prove that, because it's not always that way. I think the closest tower that our internet pings down on is in Malawi. I'll know in a second. Nah, not right now. This one is in Zambia. But okay. Now, Malawi has been in my mind. I've been thinking about the word Malawi, weirdly enough, as of late. And the fact that you're getting chocolate Malawi sounds cool. Fruity Pebbles, a la mode, and Great Ha. I've heard good stuff about the Great Ha tour. I've heard stuff about Great Ha, but I'm guessing the tour is probably just marketing. The slippery slope is the mechanism by which the shame is applied. It's true. I gotta go and get ready for work. Have a fab time, everyone. Thank you. You too, dear friend. It was nice having you here, Nanchi. I'll heat this one more time. And I expect good things. And then I am going to expect myself to get some work done. The best way I can explain what this tastes like to me is imagine you have just finished a thing, a little baggie full of jelly sweeties. I don't know if you have wine gums in America, but pretty much any jelly type of candy, right? And then you finish all of that candy and you smell the remaining smells that remains in that bag. That is what this tastes like to me. and it lingers. So candy-esque. Thank you, Jay. He loves this strain as well. He's one of the bud tenders at the joint, and he keeps recommending this strain time after time again. And it's like $3. It's $3 a gram. So it's on the more affordable side as well. Great Malawi just makes me think of Moana for some reason. Moana? The animated movie? Probably just the sounds. Malawi, Moana. I can see that. That great Haas strain exists long before the girl you were thinking about. Now I know this. I know the great Ha part. That's why I said the Tua part is probably just marketing. But she's a sweetheart. And I'm for it. Hmm. Expectations. Right. What can I expect? What did I expect? Maybe that's the better question. From the wisdom that's insane to share today, I expect nothing. And all becomes a gift. Yes. Yes. Wine gummies in the country would create a whole new generation of drunks faster. No, 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 no. They don't actually have any wine in them. It's just spelled that way. Hey Google, show me wine gums. I am so apologize. This is what they look like. Alright, and again, you just finished one of these bags, and then you smell what's inside there. And then what you smell is what that tastes. That's what they look like, the actual candies. They're tough. They're like these, and they're sweet, and they're flavored like fruit. And they're probably not very good for you, but they have some gelatin in them at least. When are you going to travel, Melt? Oh, that's so nice. When I can afford to, Simon. I think that's unfortunately the cop-out answer, but it's also the truth. Traveling is very expensive. Flying even more so. And it's like a whole South African thing. Like I'm still, the business is earning like $200 a month now, and I am earning like 400 if I'm lucky. Little bit less than 400, right? So the business money I don't touch basically. I use that as like a business asset kind of thing, and then my money I spend on food, on travel, as fuel, and on rent. And then by the end of the month, there's no money left. So unfortunately, traveling is a little bit out of my expectations right now, right? And I don't have that expectation. I don't have this like, oh, my life is not as good as it could be, right? From the whole perspective of excitement, right? I don't have any like, ooh, I'm gonna go and see this place. I don't get to, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm at a loss for not being able to, right? So it's again, it's a matter of the reframing. It will happen eventually. I feel like the fact that I now at least have a business properly registered, I have that under my name, and that could help me get a visa, which will allow me to actually leave my country, because that's also the other thing, you know. Oh, even if I have gang cash, right? If I make money illicitly, for example, I will not be allowed to travel. They'll be like, fuck nah, bro. You got all the money in the world, but you ain't coming to our country, bro. So I'm trying to do things the right way, as much as I can. No, drunks. Sam, wine gummies just sound like one hell of a headache. Again, no wine, no alcohol, just sugar and gelatin, basically. Fun story for another DuckTales. Turn out whiskey chocolate isn't like a watered down alcohol percentage, and if you share a whole box of them with someone, tomfoolery occurs. I can imagine. You need a sugar mama or a sponsor. Same thing. Again, I need nothing. I am lucky to be loved as is, and I think again, I couldn't expect the person that I love to just bankroll my life. It's not exactly what I would expect of myself. Kind of vibes. I would like a sponsor. How about you like hit up your company? Be like, this is Random Oak in South Africa. He'll start talking about our company every day of his life. Oh, he won't shut the fuck up about it. I promise. Let's sponsor him. Come on, Sensei. Oh, come on, Sensei. Wine gums are good. Wine gummies that get you drunk would be a whole other fractal. No. I'm imagining, and this is my mind being very weird, right? I'm imagining a type of candy that again is gelatin based, has sugar. But alongside the gelatin and sugar, it combines with your saliva to then ferment in your stomach, creating your own alcohol, making you drunk. Boom. Boom, wine gummies rebranded. I'm curious what you could be sponsored for. Do you have many skills? You do have many skills. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do media making right now. I'm working for a brand. We're doing slapping competitions, insane. Maybe I can show you some pieces of my work. Again, I was working with what I had. This time around, now that I'm actually part of the business. All right, there we go. There's the brand. I did this live stream for them today. There be my face interviewing the athletes. So that's the skill I'm trying to employ right now to bring some capital into the house. I'm still an artist, still doing that every day. I am a certified yoga teacher. I give yoga classes every day as well. I am a connoisseur. I don't know if your company would want to sponsor my weed smoking, but I do reviews for a bud like a bud tender. It's a place called The Joint. Every Wednesday they give me some marijuanas, and then I do a bud review for them. I do 3D mapping now, Sensei. I do 3D mapping now. Let me show you some of this. Do I have that media on this device is the question. Maybe I can do it like so. Yeah. So this was a live stream a while ago now. The conclave party. And it's not particularly good quality. Let me see if I can get it up there a little bit. But there we go. So there during the nighttime was a projector actually putting media on these surfaces as well, on the wings as well. But I also made all of the media for the background. Added the names, added the branding name, created all of the art from black pixels, did the text myself, added some inlay layers over that as a video editor, created the flowers that I make on my Patreon for the sides. So yeah, the skills need to keep getting his skill. Lessons keep needing to be learned, but it is a matter of being given a chance, I feel, more than anything, bro. Like, people will have expectations of me, and I would like to believe that I would meet their expectations. But again, you would have to give me the expectations. Melt, this is what I want you to do, so, and so. And then I'll tell you whether or not I can do that. Right, and if I can't, maybe I'll lie to you. Maybe. Just maybe I'll lie to you, but I will learn, you know. You'll still get the results. Today's other caveat is like expectations and expecting results, right? Like those two are technically different worlds. Make time to travel before kids, people. Unless you make bank, it pretty much disappears. Bruh, you think I can afford to have children? That's even funnier. It's like, oh, Mel, I know you don't have cash to travel, bro, but make sure you travel before you have kids. It's like double whammies. Possible for you to get your own projector? I would love one. If I have my own projector, that would make our business much more valuable, to say it in so many words. Because right now we have to rent projectors. And it is like a logistics thing. Every single time you want to rent a projector, you have to talk to a company. They have to send you an invoice. You have to pay said invoice. You can only pay said invoice if you've been paid by your client. Expectations, right? So like having a projector in the business is basically what I'm pushing towards right now. That is why I'm not spending any. Well, I did spend some. I had to spend money on my accountant and Sage, which is my accounting software. It's more expensive than I want it to be. It's like $30, $30 just for accounting software. Jeez, that's like 10% of all of my money. More, a little bit more than 10% of all of the cash the company is making right now just for the accounting software. So that's basically the next objective, right? I'm trying to find an investor. Imagine that'd be cool video content. That'd be cool video content on TikTok. Yeah, that is something I need to get better at as well. For me, it's again a matter of what I expect of myself. I know that there will be tools available to us very soon that will make that part of the work a lot easier. I am more than comfortable doing the hard part of the work, being in front of a camera, holding a camera at people, getting the shots. I'm comfortable doing the editing. I'm comfortable with all of that stuff. But the actual uploading content to multiple platforms and being with that day in, day out, I'm just not. I'm just not, unfortunately, right now. Takes one brand to see you, then fly you out. It's true. Just one brand, dude. Just one. I'm waiting for that one. I'm hoping that it's Dynavap. Come on, Dynavap. This thing's great. Get the one. Dynavap, sponsor me, bro. Please, come on. Look at me being salesman. I can. You can expect. I mean, my wife bankrolls my life. We just have a very modest life. Yeah. Do you expect that? Is that something you expect? I think that's where it comes in for me. Mel, could you use AI to comb through all? Yes, that is what I'm waiting for. It is AI to comb through all of your hours of YouTube videos to see how many times you mentioned the word Dynavap. We can send it to the company and see if they could work around that country restriction. They do sell them here. I bought this thing here, right? There are companies that do get them. There are. It's just a matter of, again, an audience, maybe. I mean, if they sell more of them here, the people that buy them to get them here are still gonna buy them from there, so they'll still sell more units. Weed companies allowed to advertise themselves? Technically, Dynavap is not a weed company. Is it? Technically, they don't do weed. They do vaporizers. You can vaporize, and you can, unironically, ask John how he knows. You can put cigarette tobacco in that and vaporize your cigarette tobacco instead of smoking it as well. You can do flowers. Jovan taught me. I have done lavender, but I haven't done other flowers. You can put lavender in there as well. So technically not a weed company, technically. Swear, mentioning ganja gets your video blocked. No, not really. Not really. Because again, I have, and I've shown ganja on stream as well, and YouTube still does show my content to people. I don't think I'm like, if I didn't smoke any weed on my streams, I think I would have a lot more of an audience, because YouTube would see me as a lot more of a brand-friendly channel. Even kids-friendly channel as well in that way, so I would have a lot more exposure, but then I wouldn't be myself, right? That wouldn't be authentic. I could be, Christian, kid friendly, have a puppet melt all day every day, but I would not be able to do that all day every day for more than 2 days, right? And then I would be, okay, enough now. I would be like, oh, this is what's expected of me. Okay. Does thing, realizes as you're doing what is expected of you that you never ever want to do this ever again, and then proceeds to not. In this way, I get to actually like being here with you friends. So yeah, like people do see the channel, like it is showing up. Again, I don't expect I don't expect I don't expect to be saved by some brand, right? Oh wow, some brand. I would like to be sponsored by Dynavap because I actually love their product. That's the only reason, right? If I'm gonna be sponsored, I don't want to be sponsored by anyone else because I love very few products that much. I have shown this little Dynavap to many people because again, I am in a weed smoking community. I go to the joint a lot these days, and there are people literally going there to smoke weed. And then I get to share this little apparatus with people, and I show them this thing, right? There's very few things that I would feel comfortable loving enough to bring it out and show people. Because again, when you love something a lot, there's a certain level of insecurity instantly linked to it, right? Because I love this thing, but what if this other person doesn't love this thing? There has been a total of 0 people that I have shown this little thing to that didn't love it. Right? 0 people that didn't love it. So from that perspective, it makes it very easy for me to imagine that as a sponsor in my life. Because again, I have respect for what they do. And it's that respect, right? It is that respect that I kind of look for. And I feel like again, that's where it becomes a little bit difficult to just hope for some brand. It can't just be some brand. Perfect idea, turn your vape into a hand puppet so you can advertise to kids. Jeez. I feel like that sentence, mentioning that sentence out loud could get my videos blocked, bro. I'm sorry. Love is true. I'm gonna hit this one more time. I'm gonna pull a card with you friends, and then we're gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna say goodbye. Love is true. Candy ask. Every time. I think that's one of the nice things that I really like about getting my bud from the joint. Because they support a certain amount of local farmers. And those farmers grow certain strains and certain genetics. And then you get to come back and get some more of it. It really is nice. I think I see. So there it is. Turn your vape hand into a puppet so it could market. Weed to kids is my favorite kind of diabolical humor. You know, it's so interesting how you friends happen sometimes upon like little notes that I've had in my brain. Because the whole monkey see, monkey do as a concept was like stuck in my brain today. Because I do smoke weed, or vape weed, I should say, right? I hit this Dynavap, and children exist, or whatever. And I feel like the reason it kind of like got stuck today in my mind is because one of the people that was helping set up the tent has, I think, like a 15-year-old girl, and then one of the other athletes had like a 5-year-old boy or something. And then there is this insecurity in me of like, I don't want to see, I don't know if I want to have them see me smoke weed, right? Smoking a joint or whatever. Because of the whole monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. But at the same time, it's not like they will never see someone smoke a joint if they don't see me smoking a joint. Right? So those monkeys will see. The monkeys are gonna see regardless. Now it's just a matter of, am I being a good monkey? I believe so. Purely from the perspective of expectations, right? People smoke things all the time. People have been smoking things for thousands of years. It wouldn't be unreasonable for you to expect that people are probably gonna want to smoke something. So yeah, teach kids to love plants. It's what they need. This is true. I completely agree. Ironically, I would absolutely love to get into making kids content. I just have no idea where to start. Just me reading all of the hundreds and hundreds of books that we have could get plenty of views. That's true. That's true. It could be nice even. There's this one author, not author, YouTuber, that read the Terry Pratchett books. And, like by the end of the first book that I listened by him, I felt like he was like some guy in my life reading me a book. And he is some guy in my life reading me a book. But you could be that guy reading the books, bro. Doug, I think you've got charming childlike energy and kid content would suit you. It's true. You have a nice smile, bro. Teach kids to love plants. They need that. Yeah, you are kind of in that world as well. Again, if you want to actually make content, you just have to have a structure, right? Make it clear what you expect of yourself. Make it clear what shots you want. Make it clear what you want to say. Make it clear what kind of message you want to convey, and then do it. Gotta read the books by the guy who wrote The Alchemist and The Little Prince. I don't know The Little Prince, but I know The Alchemist. How about Blum? How about you read kids on Blum? Make them feel smaller than they already do. Oh goodness. I recently got to expose myself to the world of Blum properly. And understanding the scale of that environment. It's a mega city that is a Dyson sphere around a star. And that Dyson sphere is so big that and it's not only a Dyson sphere, but it's also a city. That Dyson sphere city is so big that its orbit, its circumference, extends past the orbit of Jupiter around our star. It is insanely big, unfathomably big. And then it basically, tells the story of this city from the perspective of a person. And today's stream topic was very much about what you can expect. And I feel when you find yourself in an environment like that, what you can expect changes. And that is true for literally every single environment that every single one of us are in right now. Sure. Expecting love in all environments seems like a very tall order, but I do believe it's possible. Thank you, friends, for bringing love into this environment today. I'm going to pull a card, and then we'll say goodbye. Project with your mind's eye onto these cards when I'm supposed to stop. Today's stream topic was about expectations. And during the yoga today, I was very much talking about the expectations we have of ourselves. Today we talked more about the expectations of others, but the expectations we have of ourselves very much was a part of it for me. But then also, during my second child's pose, we do like one child's pose, and then we inquire with our inner child. And then we do another child's pose and we inquire with the earth. And in that, I was like asking myself, what do we expect of the earth? What do we expect of the world? And asking that question is pretty loaded. And I feel today's card might give us some extra direction, I'm hoping. I have never ever let my daughter see me smoke weed. Yeah, you see? You see. But again, bro, you think your daughter is never ever gonna see anyone smoke weed? You are mistaken. You are mistachios. Mastakoken. She's already going to have sleeves based on being around our tattoos. To have sleeves. You'll have sleeves on. Based around our tattoos and her love for body art. Your daughter is gonna have sleeve tattoos. You think your daughter is not gonna smoke weed? Bruh. Bruh. Again, teach her to love plants. Teach her to love plants. I think you're already, got that down at least. Her helping you with her tools. Lending you her tools, of course. One day, dog, I'ma make my way north and face paint for her. Jovan, this weekend at the Conclave party, a guy named Jace, he's the creator of a community called the Vibe Drivers, had a dragon on the side of his face. And he mentioned to me that he just came from his niece's birthday party and he sat in the line of all of the little girls to have his face painted as well. And as he said that, I did think of you, so this feels like another little synchronicity. One more time. So many entities. Yo, we want to make our way out, find you anyway, because it's on the way to Nashville, which I love. Yeah. Jovan, you do face painting? Jovan can do many things. Many a things. Keepers of the Earth is one of the things that all of us are doing actively. Right? Keepers of the Earth. Keepers of the Earth. Page 100. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. If you do though, Joe, we will take you to the zoo and you guys can nerd out all day on animals and birds. That does sound fun. Love is true. You are so supportive. There we go. I mean, Lozana was just supporting the show and she says, I do. My next face painting gig is in October. This year has been less busy than others. I wonder. My mind is like, it's a marketing problem. Are you making it clear to the children that they in fact need, desperately so, face paintings? Are they aware of this? Do they know that you drop dead instantaneously if you don't get your face painted at a birthday party? Don't they know this information? We need to be running ad campaigns. Oh my goodness, Doc. Hell yeah, I'm in. Love is true. Did the folks at Winnipeg folk know that she's a face painter? That would have been maybe important information on a CV. You are so supported, dear friend. You do not stand alone. You have a magnificent team of helpers, both in the world and of the earth, who are here to help you every step of the way. Call upon them for assistance, for they are here to help. The keepers of the earth, acknowledge the work that you have done already, the expectations met, and that you are ready to work through this. They bow at your feet and thank you for wanting to stand for them, to devote your life to protecting the earth in your unique way. It is time to increase your capacity to receive support in the physical realm. This can come in the form of financial abundance, acts of service for strangers, or people flocking to help you and your work. The only thing that is stopping you right now is your capacity to receive support. You deserve to be rewarded for the work you are doing. You deserve to be rewarded for the work that you are doing. You do not need to go at it alone. Call upon the keepers of the earth to help you and your mission. Open your heart and your mind to receiving more than you ever thought possible. What kind of support do you need? Call it in right now. I call in the support that I need. Take care, all. Take care, Simon. It was nice having you here today, bro. I am open to receiving a whole new level of support for my life and my work, and I call it in now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For my life and my work. Yeah. Nice. I'm not worried about my daughter seeing people smoke weed, but she's a 5-year-old with absolutely zero impulse control. Her brain doesn't need that right now. This is true. This is very true. I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate you doing the best that you can being a dad, bro. I am not here to tell you how to raise your child. I'm just sharing perspectives. I hope that is very clear. Right. Very, very clear. You got this, bro. Oh, maybe next year you could have your own booth in the vendor area rather than being a volunteer. That would actually be super cool. That is giving me ideas as well. It really is. My mind is going activated. That is actually brilliant, LA. I'll bookmark the idea for sure. There we go. That could be. I mean, imagine the face painting paying for your entire trip. Maybe the Winnipeg Festival does it for free. I don't know. Either way, it would be cool. Did you see the video I posted from this past summer show? I haven't yet. I just saw the notification. I'll check it out after stream. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It was nice expecting us to come into this space and having met that expectation so beautifully. Again, today's stream was at the regular time, but tomorrow's might not be. If it's not, I do apologize, but I will stream tomorrow. This is non-negotiable. This you can expect of me indefinitely. I look forward to seeing you friends again soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. I love you. Cheers.